Welcome to the President's Diary, where we take a look at His Excellency Dr. Irfaan Ali's week of activities. His Excellency started his week by visiting Dumfries Estate in Edinburgh, Scotland. Discussions centered on partnering with the King's Foundation on various initiatives in Guyana. President Irfaan Ali met with Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization (WTO), on Monday at the Permanent Mission of Guyana in New York on the sidelines of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The meeting focused on the WTO's current work plan and how Guyana can contribute to its advancement. The President has once again called for urgent global action to address pressing issues such as poverty, climate change, food insecurity, and inequality. The President made the appeal during the Summit of the Future at the 6th Plenary Meeting, 79th Session of the United Nations General Assembly.
Meeting the climate finance commitments can no longer be postponed. Forests are an integral part of the climate solution, and it is time that a global market-based mechanism for carbon credit be put in place. Our global food security continues to deteriorate, and the projections are alarming.
President Ali reiterated that an estimated $90 billion in global financing is needed by 2030 to provide a basic social safety net. According to the head of state, the entire 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is at risk if the world fails to meet the basic needs of its people. Later that day, the head of state met with United States Secretary of State, Mr. Anthony Blinken, in New York. The meeting focused on the continued strengthening of U.S.-Guyana bilateral relations, the political situation in Venezuela, and ongoing efforts to address the security and humanitarian crisis in Haiti, among other issues. On Tuesday, the President participated in a high-level event hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden, which focused on global coalition to address synthetic drug threats. Later that day, President Dr. Irfaan Ali and First Lady Arya Ali attended a social gathering with the Guyanese diaspora at the Hibiscus Restaurant on Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. The head of state also held separate bilateral meetings with the President of Paraguay, His Excellency Santiago Pena, and UAE's Minister of State for International Cooperation, the Honorable Reem bint Ibrahim Al Hashimi, at the Guyana Mission in New York. On Wednesday, the head of state announced the launch of a global biodiversity alliance to develop a model for environmental protection. This ambitious initiative expands the Low Carbon Development Strategy, LCDS 2030. The announcement was made during the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, held in New York on Wednesday.
We will convene the first Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit in 2025, which will focus on creating a market for biodiversity credits, scaling biodiversity conservation debt swaps, accelerating biodiversity bonds, establishing a blueprint for biodiversity taxonomies, and promoting nature-positive action.
The President also participated in the IICA panel at the Climate Change Department of Columbia University. President Ali joined political leaders, executives of major international organizations, researchers, and representatives of the private sector to highlight contributions to food security, environmental balance, and global social stability. The theme was creating a new narrative for agriculture in Latin America and the Caribbean. President Ali met with U.S. Aid Administrator Samantha Powers. The meeting, hosted at the Guyana Mission on the sidelines of the UNGA meeting, focused on areas for development and cooperation. Discussions also touched on advancement of current aid agreements. The President met with United Kingdom's newly appointed Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, at his official residence in Carlton Gardens, London. Several issues were discussed, including stronger collaboration in commerce, biodiversity, and the situation in Haiti. President Ali participated in the Clinton Global Initiative Annual Meeting 2024 Fireside Chat. Recognizing that Guyana's forests store 19.5 gigatons of carbon and sequester 153 million tons of carbon annually, the president explained that even with maximum offshore oil and gas operations, they would not utilize more than 20% of this carbon sequestration.
Even with 10 FPSOs operating, will not even be using 20% of the carbon the forest sequester. So that's the story.
Dr. Ali, on the invitation of the Blavatnik School of Government at the University of Oxford in London, held an interactive session with students on a case study of Guyana's leadership strategy to manage its oil wealth. The event's theme was Guyana in Transformation, the Theory of Change and Priorities. While there, the president launched his book, Achieving Global Security, the Caribbean Experience and Beyond. First Lady of Guyana, Her Excellency Arya Ali, and Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, the Honourable Oni Jwalran, also joined him. This was the President's Diary, where we took a look at His Excellency Dr. Dr Irfaan Ali's week of activities. Thank you for watching, and do join us again next time.